This is the technical support team of MyFatoorah, and in this video, we will guide you through the integration process of embedded Apple Pay. There is one prerequisite for Apple Pay, which is domain verification. It's a very simple one-time process which can be done by following two steps. First, host your domain verification file. The verification file is a file you receive by emailing tech@myfatoorah.com requesting this file. Create a folder in your root path and name it .wellknown, and add the file to this path. Make sure that the file is added to a path similar to this one. Make sure that the access to the file is public without redirection or proxy as per Apple requirements. We have two important notes here. If the payment will be done in a subdomain, the subdomain must be verified following the same steps as well. The second point, verification in the demo environment and live environment are separate. You need to verify the domain both in the live environment and in the demo environment. Each environment has a separate verification file, so make sure to request both of them from the technical support team. Once hosting the verification file is done, we can use register Apple Pay domain to complete the verification. I will use Swagger to send this request. I am using the test token available in the documentation with Peter for authentication, and I have uploaded the file to my test server. The endpoint sends a post request with one parameter, which is the domain name. Once you receive OK from the endpoint, this means that the domain is verified successfully. Again, this is one-time process only for each environment, demo and live. Now everything is done, and we're ready to start the integration. In this demo, we will use an HTML file uploaded to the registered server to represent the front end, which is here, and Swagger to send the requests from simulating the back end. The first step for the integration is getting a session ID, which should be unique per each checkout attempt. We get the session ID by using the endpoint initiate session. This will return a session ID and a country code. The country code is fixed for your account, and you can retrieve it all you want and have it as hard code if you would like. Let's go to the front end side and check the integration. The integration starts by including the JavaScript library of MyFatoorah. Since we are in the demo environment, we are using the demo URL to load the correct library. In the live environment, a different URL should be used. We've also created a div element, and in this div element with this unique ID, MyFatoorah will load the Apple Pay button. Also, we will complete the configuration by adding the session ID, the country code, the currency, the amount. So we will get the session ID we generated from initiate session and add it in the configuration of Apple Pay. Now, I can open this file on my test device to simulate the payment of the customer. For testing embedded Apple Pay, we need to follow Apple requirements. We have created a test user in the App Store Connect and logged in my device using this user. I've added test cards provided in Apple documentation. So this is my test device, and this is the Apple Pay button. Once I click on the Apple Pay, the payment sheet will appear. Once the customer verifies their identity, at this point, the callback function will be triggered. Here in this callback function, I should take the session ID, send it to my backend, and call execute payment. We will simulate this on Swagger. Here, I'm only adding the required parameter, but you can add other parameters if you would like, except for the payment method ID. Adding the payment method ID will override the session ID, and the flow of the embedded payment will not work correctly. Execute payment will return a payment URL in the response. You can redirect your customer to this URL once completing the payment, and they will be redirected to the callback URL or the error URL. We have an important note here. You must call this URL to seamlessly update the payment status. Even if you're not going to redirect the customer to a specific callback or URL or error URL, for example, in mobile application, you need to call it even silently, but you must call this URL. In addition, you can customize Apple Pay button using the style parameters here. So it's for ensuring that it seamlessly fits your website. The HTML file of this file is available in the sample code in our documentation, so you can test it. Thank you for watching this video on Apple Pay, and I hope this gave you a seamless integration with MyFatoorah.